Thorson, Classic Hits 1039 WLPL. Back in the studio on Tuesday morning. I've been in Southern California, San Diego, from last Friday till last night. And I'm one of those guys on an airplane that I got to sit next to the window or see out. I'm like that in the car, too. I'm like your dog. You know, if you got the window down, I got my head out, looking at what's going on. Now, we had beautiful weather, so I was able to see down from 30,000 feet all the way. And number one is a beautiful country. Number two, we're not running out of room. I mean, have you flown from Chicago to the West Coast? You think we're running out of room? Or number three, I was probably one of the only people on the plane to think about people walking to California. You know, before we drove, before the railroads, people left the gateway to the west, somewhere around the Mississippi River, and they walked all summer long until winter. Then they would hole up on this side of the Rocky Mountains. And then when things started to kind of get a little nicer, they would find some mountain man like Jim Bridger to guide them through the Rocky Mountains or the desert if they were going to Southern California before they would reach the Pacific, whether they were going to mine for gold and or dig for gold in San Francisco, or, you know, make their way into Southern California to make their way there. Can you imagine? I mean, it was 114 degrees, just 20 miles inland. Now, think about people who fly with kids. Okay, you got kids, your spouse, in a wagon, on horses, a team of oxen, and you're traveling across the mountains, through the mud, outdoors, living outside for the better part of a year to try to survive to get to the Pacific Ocean. And things in America weren't what you'd call terrible. People just saw opportunity. Let's go west, young man. Today, we have people who are literally fleeing for their lives, willing to walk across that same desert. Next time you're flying over between the mountains and the coast, there's 200-300 miles of desert. I mean, a jackrabbit couldn't live out there. And human beings and their kids are fleeing through that Sonoran Desert in northwestern Mexico, right across the line from us. Think about what it would take to make that decision, to make that trek, and then without a cell phone, without provisions, without anything but a wagon, the shirt on your back, how tough you'd have to be to make it. Something to think about as we consider immigration and human beings and suffering and what people are willing to do sometimes just to survive. And these people, they're just walking to the west to grab a shovel and start digging a hole. I mean, it's not like they had money handed to them. Incredible. Just an incredible story of America and what settled it. I'm Rod Thorson. Thanks for watching.